Guys, we're back in here. We finally worked out all the issues. We had some microphone mishaps, but we're good to go now. We've got your boy, the APL Pro. We have our lovely guest, Mr. Jeremy Kruk, the commissioner of the APL. We're ready to kick off a little Q&A session so you guys can have a better idea of how to run some tournaments, get some leagues started, just basic stuff, the ground rules. A lot of questions we've been getting repeatedly, just so that way now we've got it on video so we can point you guys back to here and y'all don't have to continue to ask questions that have already been asked that you may have missed before. So yeah, if you're ready, Jeremy, we'll go ahead and kick off with the first question.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things I would note is there are a lot of organizers out there. A lot of these questions are kind of geared for the people that either don't know the sport, new to organizing, new in general to the idea. So some of them are going to kind of seem, pretty elementary, but like that, these are a lot of the questions that we're getting around the nation on, what it takes to get going into Pop Darts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So first question we've got is what is the main goal of the league? Are we looking for competition, getting community together, networking, fitness, fun? What's the main objective with the APL?
Yeah, the APL, fun. If the organizers haven't heard me say it 100 times, they will. Fun is going to be the main objective. This is a skilled sport. It takes there's a learning curve, and as you get better, there's strategy. There's a lot of things going on. But within the APL, the entire focus is on having fun, having a good time. Challenging yourself. Having that skill set. You want it to be entertaining, you want to have a good time, but this league is absolutely fun. That's what it's meant to be, and that's what it should be.
100%, because there's definitely a skill set to it. You can definitely perfect your craft, but it's more about having fun while doing so. Because I've noticed it's one of those sports where you're wanting to win, but if your opponent hits a really cool shot on you, you're just as excited as if you hit it yourself. It's not like, oh man, now I'm mad because he hit a T knobber. It's everybody's going crazy, everybody's celebrating together.
Yeah,
It,
and just I tell people, don't take themselves too seriously. Like you said, the pros are great, and entry level players are going to have a learning curve, as they figure it out. But it's
mm,
supposed to be about fun. It's a silly, goofy, fun game that is addicting. So yeah, I would say the fun is the answer, but you can take it as far as you want. You're going to notice. These pros get absolutely outstanding, and there's a lot of skill involved in this sport.
100%, 100%. What age group and like skill level are you looking at? Are you looking for like mainly adults? You looking like kind of youth, children?
The APL, I always tell everybody, Pop Darts is the reason that Pop Darts exists, the reason that it is growing and as awesome as it is it's anybody can play. They proved that when they came out with the rookie darts. They proved that like when they're making the game easier to learn and to get into. So it's awesome that way. As it pertains to APL rules and guidelines, following the actual APL rules, I like to tell people like 9, 10 years old, some kids a little bit younger. It's the distance. That's what I like to say. Now again, I'm not discouraging young kids. Our national champion's a 13-year-old who's been playing for a while. He's an absolute beast. A lot of the kids I play with, that are younger are in that 9, 10 range. They can throw at the APL distance. So when it comes to the APL and the actual stuff, yeah, like 9, 10 is when they can really compete on the same level as some of our adults, some of our older players. So that kind of gives them an idea. I have talked to people when you're starting lower level, entry level leagues, it's okay to have a little bit of modification to get some of these younger kids playing. It's okay to bring the distance in a little bit. It's okay if you're playing with 5, 6 year olds, to bring that distance in a little bit. But
Oh yeah.
official APL rules guidelines, I would say, yeah, that 9, 10, is kind of a nice guideline. If they could throw it to 17 feet, they can really learn to play this game. So
Oh, and that's the biggest challenge I've noticed with just new players, myself, either playing here at the house or playing at our venue, is just getting good at the distance. So I always recommend people start a little bit closer because even the bag on the product says at least 10 feet. So just start at the 10 feet, get your form down. And once you get the form, you can blow the gates wide open. Then it's just
yeah,
perfecting it and honing in on that target and working on accuracy.
I couldn't agree more. And I would highly advise not starting closer than 10 feet. It's a
Oh,
weird
yeah.
sport, where it gets harder if you get closer than 10 feet to get what you need and what you're doing. But I completely agree. It's a great way to kind of build your game.
Oh yes. Let's see what else we got. How many teams or players can you realistically handle in your first season if you're just starting out? Like how much is too much, or if is there a such thing as too much?
There's always yes, the answer is there's always. I mean, I would think, it's gonna depend on your space, your limitations on your venue, your space, what you can handle. If you're running 2 boards, 20 to 30 players in a given evening is very doable. The really awesome thing about Pop Darts from an organizer standpoint, from a sports standpoint, it's fun, it's exciting, but the average time of the games is not that long. It's not a 10, 15, 20-minute long game where your night drones on. These, I think our
Mm.
average in the mini season landed at somewhere like 6.5, 7 minutes. So that's pretty good. That's something you can work around. And we have a lot of kind of ways to help you guys structure your leagues where if 30 people show up, we can help you guys get through 30 people and not be there all night. There's different setups and things we have in Scoreholio to help you do that. So
Oh yeah,
so yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
'Cause
I would say that I think that's probably I don't know what you've been running, but I think 20 to 30 is probably a pretty good, number for, 2 to 3 tables.
oh, and it definitely helps having the multiple tables because you're not just you waiting on one game to finish up where you can start the next one. You have them going simultaneously. This game on court one finishes up first. People can go ahead and get started warming up, even if people are still playing on court two. Just kind of helps things stay flowing, and there's no real bottlenecking with it.
Yeah, I love
Uh,
it.
how long does each season last? Like, how many weeks? Does it go a certain amount of months? What's
Yeah.
the ideal time frame for it?
Yeah, so the APL season is going to be a year long. So it started yesterday. We kicked off our inaugural season on October 1st. Uh, the leagues themselves, a lot of organizers are really doing that on a local level. They're seeing what their local area is like, what they're used to. I think 8 to 12 weeks is a pretty normal season. I think somewhere in that range, it gives them some time to come. If they can't make a week, they can make it up the next week. Things like that, where they don't fall out of the standings in that particular league. So 8 to 12 weeks. A lot of our leagues are going to just run that back to back. So it's just nice to have a beginning and an end. So if you sit there and say, it's a 6 month league, it's not a very defined beginning and an end. So 8 to 12 weeks. If you take a week off, or if you jump right into session two, after that, that's fine. But that's kind of typical. You'll really get a read from your players, from the people that you guys are working with, what the ideal number is. But that 8 to 12 weeks is a pretty standard, length for a league.
And that's one of the key things too, is that it's not a league you have to be there every single week. It's not like you have to commit to 8 a day, 8 weeks straight. If you have to miss a week, it's no big deal. You can show up the next week, pick right back up where you left off. It doesn't hurt you. It definitely helps to show up, but if you can't make it, you got stuff going on, it's no big deal. Just be there when you can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think that's a big draw to playing a sport like this is you're not quite sure if you want to do it, but you jump in. You know what I mean? We're not signing you up for 8 weeks and you have to be at 8 weeks, so
Oh
come
yeah.
check out a session. The other beauty of it is Pop Darts is growing exponentially. So you're going to run into a lot of people that didn't know who you were or what was going on 3 weeks ago. They're more than welcome to jump into a league, 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in. They don't have to sit and wait, till the end. And I think that is a huge perk of kind of running, the leagues in the format that we do. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what rules and regulations will we use? Is it there's a set of standard of rules that the APO is going to use across the board, or is there like leagues will be a little bit different than like regionals and national tournaments would be? Is it uniform, or is it kind of dependent on what level you're at?
yeah, so the APL absolutely has a standards and regulations and anything run. I like to hope most locals are running, mostly APL guidelines, running APL rules. Uh, Regionals absolutely will be, so we have those rules available. Any of the organizers that reach out to me, we make sure they have that. You and I are going to be doing some series on, some rules, some strategies, and things like that. So it'll be fun to see that in real practice. But for leagues, people are modifying and finding it worthwhile to modify. If they can't quite get to 17 feet, they may do a 15-foot league. We're very open to that. We're very open to having some house rules mixed in and some things mixed in because the idea is for people to be playing Pop Darts. The idea is for them to be out there throwing the darts, having fun, being out there with their friends. As long as they understand that as they move up, as they get more into that competitive side of Pop Darts, yeah, there are going to be a set of standard, rules and regulations you follow.
Mm.
So
Oh, yeah, and that just takes it back to like what you said earlier, where it depends on your venue sometimes. If it doesn't have the capability for you to throw at 17 feet, it's not the end of the world if you have to run your league from 15 feet, because as long as you're getting a good distance, you're not right there on the table at the 10 feet. It's really not that big a jump to move back to the 17 feet to get you in the rhythm for a regional tournament.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it shouldn't be a deterrent from people playing the game. Absolutely should not be a deterrent from people playing the game.
Oh yes. But who's going to handle like the refereeing and scorekeeping and all that of the game? Is there going to be somebody that's going to have to go out to each of these leagues to make sure things are being ran right, things are being scored right? How's that going to work out?
Yeah, and with as an organizer, you're going to want to know the rules. They're going to come to you. They're going to ask you. They're going to ask you for some rulings. But for the most part, the players referee themselves. They know who the closest start is. They can score properly in their phones or tablets, the scores in the matches. The scheduling in terms of who plays where and how do we do this and all, that's all done through our partners at Scoreholio. Once you get into that app and really dive in, they're going to handle that all for you. They'll make sure that that's taken care of and that they're telling players what court to go to and where to go and what time they play and who they play. All that's done inside that app. So the organizers are going to set up that night, and then once it's set up, we let the app do its job, and you guys just help everybody as needed throughout the night.
I was about to say, it really seems like the app kind of just takes a little bit of a load off of the organizer. You don't have to, especially if an organizer is wanting to also play at the same time, you don't have to worry about trying to make sure this court has the people. You move them to that court to make sure they know to play. All you've got to do is, hey, how do we score this? Which dart's closer? Or I hit a cool shot. What's the scoring on it? All you got to do is just take a look, give them an explanation, and then you can go right back to what it was you were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to be hands on every table. There doesn't have to be a referee overseeing and sitting and looking at a table at all times. No, it's very, very casual. The app takes a ton of it. I mean, you hit it right on the head. The app takes a ton of burden off the organizer to watch what's going on and know what's happening. It's all taken care of in the app.
And that really just kind of makes the whole experience overall a little bit more enjoyable for everybody, because if your organizer is really stressed out, getting aggravated because he's got so much going on, it could really kind of put a damper on the whole event, kind of kill the vibe. So that kind of makes things run just a little bit smoother all around.
I completely agree.
So how much will players or teams need to pay for like registration fees? Is there going to be like entry fees for tournaments? Is there going to be a separate fee they have to pay on top of that? What are they looking at money wise?
Yeah, so players themselves, the casual player, most of these organizers are setting up tournaments where the casual player doesn't have to be an APL member. To get on the national rankings, to start to build your national scores and rankings, you have to be an APL member. The base level for that is just $25, and that runs for the year. I've had a lot of questions: is that monthly? Is that recurring? How often? Can I opt out for some months and then opt out? It's for the year. So to get in as a player and start building national rankings, $25 is your baseline cost to be a part of the APL. Different clubs, different leagues will have different price structures per night. There's going to be some that run $10. There's some that are not paying anything per night to play, and they just go play. That's completely up to your organizer. Has a lot to do with the venue. Has a lot to do with how many people are there. How much work that they're putting in. But usually those run somewhat in that 10 to 25 dollar range per night to go play, and a lot of that is paid back to the players who are winning. So that's the whole, it's just the fun of they're playing for something. So but not a lot. Some of the youth, we have some youth leagues running and they don't charge anything to come play that evening.
Okay, yeah, because I think our league's starting out at like I think it's just $10 for an entry fee, and like you said, most of that is getting paid right back to the people who placed, one, two, three. So if you go in, you do well, you could just end up with your money back, or even some to pay for your next few entry fees. And then on top of that, it just kind of because like you said, you want to have fun, but it also gives you a little bit more incentive to kind of put a little bit more on that competitive edge for you, give you something else to play for besides just I beat you this week. Just a little bit of bragging rights, kind of.
Yeah, I agree. And I saw somebody asked, does the membership tier matter? The membership tier doesn't matter in terms of accruing points, accruing rankings. Now, the various membership tiers will get you more national points. So, 25, our base level bronze gets you 250 points. Your gold standard gets you 500. Your diamond gets you 750. I would tell the casual player, if you're still unsure about Pop Darts, you want to start accruing tournaments and make sure your points count, get in at the base level. You can absolutely start at a $25 membership and win a couple tournaments, get excited about it. You can upgrade anytime throughout the year to get those points added to your national standings. So that's something that I tell players is if you're just looking to get your membership points, those can be added at any time throughout the year. You cannot, however, rack up a bunch of first place points and then become a member. You have to at least be in at the base level. So your rankings and your scores and your finishes only count after you become an APL member. And that's just to show respect to the members that have paid and that are playing and that, are current members to, we don't want people just coming later and racking up all these points that, they accrued throughout the season.
Oh yeah, and I think that's one of the big things that organizers will definitely need to stress to their members is just the fact that hey, if you play in these tournaments and you're not a member, you can't buy the membership 3 weeks later and then expect us to move these tournaments into your points. It's the membership has to be first, and then your finishes after that will then count towards it. You can't kind of
Yes.
I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but you understand. You can't
Yeah,
take past
retroactive.
tournaments. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
How will the payments be collected? Like, how are the payments for like the entry fees and stuff and all that? Is it going to be like cash? Is there any like online payment options?
Yeah, so Scoreholio offers that both to the organizer, as well as so all APL membership fees are collected through Scoreholio through the APL link to get in there. The organizer can opt to do it however their particular club sets it up. A lot of league nights do cash. That's just a typical cash or Venmo or something like that on league nights. But they do have the option to do that through Scoreholio. So they can collect a tournament entry fee or a league entry fee through Scoreholio if they want. So they do have those options available to them.
Okay, that's good. They got it's not just one set thing. You can kind of play it by ear, see what works best for you. If you feel like cash is a little bit easier, so you can hand somebody their prize money that they win, or if you can kind of better keep track of it, having it right there on you.
Yeah,
That's not.
absolutely.
What sponsorships or partnerships can help offset costs for running your league or anything like that? Because I know it can be a little pricey starting out, especially if you're doing it all on your own.
Yeah, we work really. I work hand in hand with the organizer, the APL does, in trying to to help them. We definitely are. We big proponents, big supporters of finding local sponsors, finding local businesses, whether that be a venue somewhere where you can do it, whether that just be a local business that wants to support Pop Darts and your leagues. Very similar to other leagues in other towns where certain teams get sponsors and certain people get sponsors. I very much encourage it. I think that is absolutely how we build the community, how we build this up. The APL on the handles the regional, national sponsorships on our end, but the local ones are done on a club by club basis. So we encourage organizers to get local sponsors to help offset those costs. I'm seeing a question on your own darts. Caden, I would say that if you're coming to a league with an organizer, and I can't say this with 100% certainty, but your organizer is going to have plenty of darts. You only need one set of darts per table that's running that evening. So it's not a huge amount of darts, on those tables. And so I would say I would encourage new players that have never played that don't even own a set of darts. If you see a league nearby, go. You don't need to have a set of darts to show up at a league night. I know that there are a lot of organizers out there that will make sure you're taken care of, make sure you have darts to throw with, and work with you. So I would say that you absolutely, as an organizer, you're going to want to have darts for running your tournaments, but that's a very low cost, to get into a set of darts. So
Oh yeah, because I know just myself personally running my league, I've got just about one of every set that Pop Darts has. So I make sure I bring those. So that way, if there is somebody that doesn't have their own darts, I'm like, oh yeah, just come over here, grab a set. Just make sure you put them back. You don't walk off with them. But
yep.
I would say just mainly with your own darts, if you have a specific color that you do better with, that you maybe a little superstitious, like myself, I'm a big fan of the Yerples. I have a specific 3 pack of Yerples that I will use for every tournament. If that's the case, then definitely you probably want to bring your own darts just in case that set's not available for you when you get there. But
Yeah.
that's strictly on a personal level, personal preference.
Yeah. Caden came with another really good question. There's absolutely no limit to the number of APL tournaments you can play. There is a limit to how many of them will count towards your national point system. And we're working on getting a chart out there here, hopefully still this week. So I'll just give a couple of examples on leagues and local area tournaments. Like a league, only your top 3 league scores will count. You can play 40 league nights if you want and have 40 league finishes if you want. Go for it. That I have fun. Your top 3 scores are going to be the only ones that drive your national ranking. So that's just an example. I mean, I would highly encourage you to play as many as you can, and get in there.
And so, like say you did play in the 40 nights, the 40 league nights, and like you started out with a third, a second place, and then a first place, but then you went on to get 3 more first places later on. Would those first places then replace your worst finishes, and you would just take your 3 best, or is it just whatever your first 3 that get submitted are?
No, it is your best 3. So and that's what you're going to see a lot of people get, grow. I mean, you're going to see a lot of people come in here and, you know, finish. I mean, I see it all the time in my league. Somebody come in, finish, got eliminated right away, didn't win a game, had a lot of trouble. Come back a month later, second place finishes, so I would highly encourage people, like stick with it. Sometimes people just figure it out, dial it in, have good time. So absolutely. So if you're bringing a fifth place finish, one time, you know you come back, replace it with a third, that third's going to take that spot, so it's going to keep working your way up, and that's how you're going to keep growing in the national rankings.
Okay.
Did you see the question come in on, um, how do you sign up for the APL? Do you want to hit that one?
All right. So to sign up for the APL, you still go through iplayapl.com,
Yep.
because that takes you to a link, I believe, straight to the Scoreholio app, where you'll be able to see all the tier options. There's the bronze, silver. Is it bronze, silver,
Diamond.
gold, and diamond, or just bronze, silver, and diamond?
Bronze, gold, and diamond.
Bronze, gold, and diamond, and you could pick any level you want. There are going to be some perks later on down the road, I believe, for like the diamond members, but that's not essentially essential to the league. Bronze, if you just want to get started, just make sure you can get your finishes counting towards your national ranking. Just start on that low level. I think it's $25 for the year. Super easy. And then once you're signed in, it's automatically connected to your Scoreholio account. So that way, as soon as you play in a club and they submit it, boom, that's taken care of. Your result is put in. You don't have to do anything extra. You just got to get your membership and go play some Pop Darts.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. It is updates on the Popdarts app. So the Popdarts app is going to run separate from the APL currently. There are some things in the work of doing some challenges and tying it in, but currently the APL and its national rankings and tournament submissions is going to be run on an app called Scoreholio. So we partnered up with them. They had amazing technology, amazing foresight to to really springboard us a lot faster than developing an app on our own. So our app is still there. It's still awesome. It's still kicking major butt. But for tournaments and tournament submissions, that's all going to be run through Scoreholio. I'm looking. So age limits to certain tournaments. No, I mean, if you could throw from that distance, no, we are not, running, an age restriction, on these tournaments. Like I said, I I would highly recommend and encourage people to be able to throw that 17 feet, to throw, to be able to get there and to consistently, get there. But our national champion is 13 years old, so it's not something. This is not an 18 plus league. This is not, you don't need to be an adult to play. In fact, some of our best players, worldwide are, teenagers and preteens. So I would say 10, 9, 10 is really where I would start, um, considering, being able to throw and be at the competitive level.
And I will say, I know that there's going to be some waivers that come out, but that's strictly going to be for like content usage. Just saying that we could use videos of you, your pictures of you in Pop Darts and APL social medias. And if I would assume if you're younger than 18, you just might need like a parent signature signing off on it, just saying yes, that's okay. That might be the only time where an age might be a factor in anything, but outside of
Yes.
that, I don't think there would really be any issues with age as long as you can throw from that distance, like you said.
Yeah, yeah, and the waivers. I mean, you bring up a good point. I mean, like, wait, I get a lot of questions on the waivers, liability insurance, things like that. Most of these venues are covering that. They'll let you know if they don't. I've had organizers ask me that. Pop darts is not a super, crazy sport. We're not, running around. We're not doing anything like destructively physical, if you will. So most venues, their liability insurance covers that just fine. So there's not a big concern for that. Waivers, exactly what you said. So when you sign up and you register for tournaments, there is going to be a click through, for signing in, and it, like you said, though, it is content related. So the APL is, just letting you know if you get captured in a video and you get put on, social media, you're giving us your permission to do that. Is really what our waivers, stress towards.
Absolutely. And like with the liability insurance, it's pretty hard to cause some property damage with just little suction cup darts. It's not like real darts where you're throwing them, putting holes in the wall or anything like that, or you might hit somebody and stab them with a dart. I mean, you get hit with a pop dart, you might just get like a little circle on your arm or something, but that's about it.
Yeah, pop darts are, that's what makes them fun.
Oh
All right,
yeah.
so I'm gonna jump in. I said another question on there. When are the elite darts going to jump in as the norm? That's a good question. There is not an exact date that we have set. So our big thing is we didn't want to introduce the elites and then force everybody that had owned pro darts to just not be able to play. So I will say, without a doubt, we plan to move, towards elite darts at some point in the future. So, if you get a set, there's going to be some new sets coming out. There's going to be some cool things happening that I would highly encourage it. But for now, all of our tournaments are being played with the pro darts. So 100% of the APL tournaments and leagues are now currently being played, with the pro darts. And I don't foresee that being a big change in the near future.
So like regionals and maybe the national championship for right now, those are still going to be pro darts for this season at least.
So the regionals are for sure. The national championship will give plenty of notice if
Okay.
that's a move we make. But for now, it's looking like the pro darts are what we're looking at.
And I'll say from just personal experience having both darts, it's really not much of a jump to go from throwing pro darts to elite darts. There is a little bit of a difference. They are a little bit heavier, but I will say, because I do believe we're moving back to 18 feet for the elite darts, correct? I'll
Yes.
say it's so much easier, honestly, to throw the elite darts from distance than it is the pro darts. They're much more stable through the air. There's less tumble or turning. I feel like it's actually going to work out. People are going to find out they're actually a little bit better than they think they are when they swap to the elite darts.
That feedback is what I'm getting nationwide. I'm getting a lot of people tell me that the pro darts are actually much harder for newer players to throw than the elite darts. So that's actually, wild. But I think it's exactly, goes to your point. It's more stable in the air, throw it from further distance. But yeah, for now, it's going to stay at the pro dart level.
And four. As a league host, which we kind of touched on this earlier, the league going to supply the equipment? Does the organizer or the venue, who does that fall on when starting up a league?
Yeah, so the organizer is going to provide the equipment, the base level equipment, things like the tables, the darts, the towers. The APL put together some incredibly competitive packages when you factor in shipping and the huge heavy boards that we're shipping nationwide on the APL website for organizers in various tiers. So we have one board, two board, four board packages for organizers to get them set up but yes, that will ultimately fall on the organizer to, get the tables, get the boards in place at their venue. A lot of venues are stepping up and picking up that cost so that they can have them there on non-league nights for people to play. Very similar to a dartboard or a cornhole board or some of the other things like that.
That's like with our venue for our league, we were very fortunate that they hopped in right away. They ordered the two table package and they've already got it set up at their venue. And they told me today they've actually gotten so much interest for the league just from people coming in, seeing it, trying it out. They're starting to throw those darts and they're realizing how addictive this game actually is. And we should have a pretty good turnout once we get the actual league tournaments rolling here in a couple weeks.
That's awesome. No, yeah, and I'm finding the same thing. The more people see it, play it, you know, hang out around the game, it's growing. It's growing. It's an addicting game to play. You get it's satisfying. It's satisfying for a
Yeah,
reason. So, um,
absolutely.
so I'm gonna
Um,
jump up to Luke's quick because we're getting a couple questions here. So I'm gonna jump up to Luke's. How many tournaments can you claim towards your national rank? So, and I mentioned this earlier in the live stream that there you can play as many as you want. We're gonna come out with a chart. Hopefully tomorrow, and get that chart out. That'll let you know not only the points assigned to a league, a local, a regional, a national, and so those are going to come out, but also how many of those will count. So I could give you for an example, we all know when we talk about 3 league scores. That is it. So you can max out at 3 first place, and then you've maxed out your leagues. So you can play league, and we encourage it and have fun, hone your game in. But then you have to look towards the next level, which is a local tournament, which has multiple league teams playing, in or players playing in it. So, and there's a certain number of those, a certain number of regionals, nationals, and so on. So there, and I'll get that chart out so that you guys can see that. I think it's important to note that like tournaments like a regional, it's beneficial to play in them even if you aren't going to place, top 4 or 5, because people that have maxed their leagues, maxed their locals, but never even stepped foot in a regional, the last place person in a regional still gets points. Just going and attending and being there and a part of the APL, you're still going to get points towards your national ranking. So I always tell people it's very important to get out there and play as often as you can. I'm just jumping in. Said unlimited tournaments, top 3. Yeah. Oh, you're answering the question for me. Thank you. So,
Oh, yeah. And
all right.
definitely, I would say for people going out and getting in leagues, if you get 3 first place finishes just because you're maxed out for those, do not stop showing up and playing, because the last thing you want is to get your 3 first place finishes in your leagues feeling on top of the world. You show up for a local tournament with some other clubs in there, and then you play like crap just because you're out of rhythm. You haven't been practicing, you haven't been honing that craft. Definitely just continue to show up, keep playing, because you're just going to get better the more you play.
And it's huge for the growth of the sport. I always tell people if you could find it, if you're an active APL player, find one member a week to bring to your league and watch how the sport grows. It's a crazy piece. It's a crazy thing that's going on. Caden, no, we are not currently seeking active drug testing. So no, no. No, I mean, I
I
guess we
think it
reserve
would
the
take
right to at some point. Like, I guess if DJ
take
comes
something
back,
kind of drastic.
yeah, if DJ comes to nationals, like huge, like we'll have to think about it. But no, just kidding.
You
No,
start hitting 5, 6, 7 T knobbers with 5, 6 to 7 darts, then might have to look into something. But
yeah. Luke, to answer your question, on a regional basis, only 2 regionals will count. So Uh, I'm not saying that affects your travel plans because you can play in as many as you want to try to make both of those first place. But only 2 on the regional level will count to your national rankings. So
unless you're coming in first of the both first 2 regionals you go to, it really doesn't hurt you to go to the next one. If you come in fourth and then second, go to another one, try to get that first place, get you some more points.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, I would agree.
Um, what's the average like funding needed? Like, what's the baseline price people could look at for getting started up as far as equipment and stuff like that?
See, that's an excellent question. I mean, that is one of the biggest questions I get. And the number is going to depend on your club. How big a club are you growing? What are you looking to do? How much space do you have in your venue? All of those lead into what it's going to cost to start, a league in your area. You can start a league. We have organizer packages for well under $1,000. So that gets you 2 tables, it gets you sets of darts, it gets you towers, it gets you everything you need to your doorstep. If you're looking at growing a bigger league, you want to get 4 tables, you want to get, you're starting to build a club with a bunch of people with aspirations to go to regionals and do that, you might be looking in the $2,000 range, so to get something started and something going. This is where I go back. I highly recommend local sponsors. Even if a local sponsor is going to pick up $500 here, $500 there, that kind of stuff will help organizers get started and going.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I don't want people to be scared off by that number either, because it's not like we're sending out bad quality product. These tables are amazing. They're solid. I think is it birch wood that they're made of?
Birch. Yep,
Yeah,
everything's made out of birch.
they're beautiful. They do not wear easily. You're not gonna see where you have one league for 3 weeks and all of a sudden the table surface is messed up. You have to get another table. Like, it's built to last. It's gonna last you for a long, long time. If you get what you need and your league is running good, you might not need any more equipment for a while. We hope you do. We hope your league grows to where you would need more, but don't feel like you're gonna spend all this money just to have to spend it again in 6 months.
I completely agree. Tyler, that is exactly how it works, and it is automatic. So Tyler, you come into, and this works at every level. So Tyler asked the question, can you remove a bad score, whether that be in a regional, local, whatever? It automatically will do that. So Tyler, if you go and you finished first in league and then third in league, and then you came back, a month later and got a second, it's going to automatically drop that third place, off, what I mean, your score. So it only is going to count your top three. So once you have three firsts, you could keep racking up firsts. I mean, that's fine. It's just only going to count those first three. So, and it'll automatically take your top three, at least at the league and the local level. At the regional level, it's two nationals, and our specialty events, it's going to be one score.
All right. Will the league be involved in the growth of new markets, or is that going to be just kind of, the organizer gets started and then it's just on them from there?
So the league is helping. The league is absolutely there. We're actively supporting these areas. You can always email me. I can help you walk through the issues you're having. I find organizers, and this is where you and I are going to start to do this, where we talk once a week for a half hour. This first time ran a little over. We had some technical stuff, but we'll try to keep it into that 15 minutes to a half an hour. Talk over a common question that organizers have. Some battle finding players, some battle venues, there's a lot of different battles that these organizers are facing that you and I will try to address. But absolutely reach out to me. I can help talk you guys through it. I can, get you guys on Zoom. If I have to make a couple calls to venues and try to help you guys out, that's stuff that we are all here to help you with. If that, I've kind of gotten that question in that, hey, I want to do this. Can the APL get me 20 players that want to play nearby? The answer is no. There is no magical button, you know what I mean, for the APL to do that. There is no way for us to all of a sudden make these, players appear, and we can give you tips, we can give you areas to go check out. A lot of youth organizations are starting to do like father-son leagues, or mother-daughter, father-daughter leagues. It's a great way to grow it. It's a great way to talk to it. We can give you lots of things that have been working, and that's what I'm hoping that our weekly visit where you and I talk for a half an hour and chat with everybody will help give these guys ideas, help address some of that kind of stuff as we grow these leagues. But that's a great question. But about the support we give is a lot.
Oh, and
We will help everybody as absolutely as much as we can.
it sounds kind of cliche to say it, but as long as you get out there and get started and just start playing the game, it's going to draw the people in. They're going to see it and they're going to be interested. Even if they just come out for a night, they're going to talk about it once they're there. Like if you can just get started, which the APO, like you said, is going to help with the venue and the equipment, the game will do the work for you as far as bringing the people in.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm looking at a couple comments. Nationals currently are going to stay until anything changes that, this is in the future, but Nationals are going to be in Orlando, and that is due to our relationship with ESPN and airing on ESPN. So to give you an idea on Nationals, the best I could tell you is August, and the best I can tell you is August, and Orlando is the general plan on it. I saw that question. Let's see here. Jeff, to answer your question, yes, that can be hard in some areas. I mean, I know I've talked to and I've worked with a couple of people in Texas that really struggled for a while until they found, the venue of their dreams. So those are ones where we can help, and I, intend to start helping reach out and, make sure that we are, offering that support to these venues. Some of the things that we're going to try to do is put together some sell sheets, some I guess you call them points that you can make to these venues, because I think once they kind of understand, I think the biggest struggle for a venue right now would be they don't know what we are. They don't know who we are. I call a venue up and they're like Popdarts, like what are you trying to do here? Like I don't. One person I talked to last week says I don't have any dartboards here. I was like, all right, that's okay, because I don't need any dartboards. So that's, I think, a challenge with venues. So but we could dive more into it and help you guys a lot more, with that, with getting you guys some sell sheets, some points, some pluses to, to bringing Pop Darts, as well as starting to get a list of all the venues that are hosting Pop Darts, and, a comment and, like how excited they are to have us. The venues that take us in love the crowds they draw, love the people that it
Hmm.
brings in. The feedback I've gotten from venues is it is just incredibly awesome to have Pop Darts added to there. to their facility.
Oh, yeah, and a lot of them just jump at the thought of having just more foot traffic. It's guaranteed people in their business every time you have a tournament, and even if it's not like a consistent, "Oh, they're buying this much of our product, this much food, this much drink," it's just the fact that they're there. People are gonna get hungry, people are gonna get thirsty. If it's available, they're gonna buy it, and so just having the constant foot traffic coming in, a lot of venues are very happy with that thought.
Okay, Tyler, what did you Uh, yeah, Tyler, I would say those stats are probably a little bit too new. Seeing as the league kicked off our mini season only 2 months ago and just jumped into our full time season. A lot of leagues just kicked off. I would say if I had a venue asking me or asking me like what it does is what does it hurt? If I bring 8 to 10 people in the bar, what does it hurt? Try me out for 8 weeks. Like let's try to get this in here for 8 weeks and see what we can do. But that, yeah, I think we're a little bit new on how many beverage and drink, and I'm not 100% sure. And again, this is just me speaking, from my personal experience. I'm not sure that those numbers are going to be the same for me in Wisconsin running a league, full of Wisconsin guys, and DJ running it in Jacksonville and somebody running it in Dallas, Texas. I think the demographics can be different. The way that these people play. If there's leagues that are being started up with half kids, are the drink purchases going to be the same? You know what I mean, with that group as with a group of all adults that are playing. And so I would say right now it's more the experience, it's the vibe. I think dollars and cents will come when the people come. Is how I would answer that. That's the only way that I would kind of answer that. For a venue.
Well,
Uh,
Caden's got a good question here. How many people do you need to get a league started?
so it, as few or as many as you can to play, I guess would be my short answer. I wouldn't say don't show up and don't play if only 6 people are there. Don't all go home. To submit it to the national rankings, I'd like to see 8 people play in a league night. I understand we're very new and we're going to see, that fluctuate a little bit. I would still highly encourage you guys to run the tournament. There are ways to run successful 6-man tournaments. And when I was starting out before the APL was even a thing, that those are some of the most fun I got was 6, 7 guys together, to play and to learn the game and to throw the darts. So I would highly encourage people to, play regardless of that number that you guys get. And then look around at the 5 or 6 of you that are there and ask yourselves, how do we each bring one person next week? And now you've got yourself a 12-man, you know what I mean, league. And I think that's really cool. Like it's a really cool, quick way to grow the league fast.
And a tip that I've come across that might help some organizers kind of grow it is offer your players like a deal. Say, hey, if you bring a friend in next week, you'll get your entry fee for free. It's that way it kind of incentivizes them to bring somebody in, and then it's growing automatically, and they're just like, hey, I'm getting free entry. I'll bring somebody next week too. And it just
Yeah.
got before you know it, you've got 20, 25 people showing up every week, and your league's amazing, taking off.
Yeah. And if I was an organizer, I'd give somebody free entry for the whole season if they brought a new person every single week. It's an awesome way to grow the sport. That's 12 new players playing Pop Darts in a span of 8 weeks. That's 8 to 12 weeks. That's really cool. Yeah, that's a great idea.
And at the end of the day, that's the whole point of all of this is to get more people playing pop darts and to just get the sport out there to as many people as we can because we love it. It's a really great, really addicting, satisfying game, and we know that everybody else that plays it's going to love it too. So we just want to see as many people playing it as we can and see them having as much fun with it as we are.
I completely agree. Any other questions? Anybody that's hanging out still? I appreciate. We ran a little long. We jumped in on the questions in and out of what we had. Like we covered, DJ and I kind of covered everything we really wanted to bring to the table. We hope to, follow the APL page. I throw that one out there. It just helps us, get some traction, gets this information that we put out there. Pop Darts is fantastic, and these joint streams are amazing. So that'll help us. But follow the APL page so you can kind of keep up to date with what we're doing on the competitive side of things. But if anybody doesn't have any questions, like I can roll out, and I know DJ's gonna be continuing and playing some Pop Darts tonight.
Oh yeah, yep. So if you guys got any more questions, if not, we can go ahead and wrap up at least this portion of everything.
Tyler, I think that you can watch it back, right? DJ, I think I clicked on my
Yes.
side that they can watch this back, so you should be have no problem, Tyler jumping in and streaming the first part of it. So
Yeah, and
that's
it might take it a little bit, but I've noticed every time that we've ended a live stream with the Pop Darts channel that it's automatically just started to upload. So it, like I said, it might take it a little bit to finish uploading, mainly dependent on my internet, but it should be available very shortly after, so that way you could go back and rewatch the whole thing and get all the questions and answers you're looking for.
yeah. So thank you, yeah, Tyler. So that should be on there. Luke, we appreciate you guys. Yeah, no, we appreciate all you guys come out watching. The next one should hopefully be a little bit more fun. I think we're gonna do some. I will have these question and answers posted on the APL page for everybody that DJ and I went over. So I put it in a summary for you guys all to have as like frequently answered questions that you can come back to. And then next week we're gonna start with a challenge. So we're gonna do a commish versus a pro challenge here. Maybe a quick 5-10 minutes, and then we will uh, jump into DJ playing some more pop darts and showing you guys how a pro does it. And so, Caden, yeah, I'm jumping out. DJ's staying on, so you're in good hands. Sounds good. And to your point, Tyler, that is something we are very much looking to do. I think we want to kick that off just so we can get more pros involved. We can get more people involved and and talking the game. I think as the membership grows, that's just naturally going to come, especially like I get the benefit of talking to these pros, but a lot of those conversations should be out there for people to listen to because these pros know what they're doing. They got great ideas. They're advancing this sport at a speed that's just never been seen before, and it's because of them that we're allowed to grow this. So I think you are going to see stuff like that start up. uh, I'll throw a tickler out there for all of you that are not close to a league. You're not in the vicinity to play in a league or in a tournament. Stay tuned. There's something coming in the next, I'll say a couple days, but it might be a week. I'm hoping to have it set up by next week. And I think you guys stay tuned at the APL. Those of you that do not have a league that you can physically go to, but have a computer or have a phone or have a table, you guys might be interested in listening. I think you guys will have a lot of fun with what's coming up, in the coming week.
And if I know one thing, whenever Jeremy teases something, it's worthwhile. So you guys better be on the lookout for it because it's going to be awesome. I can guarantee it.
Jeff, quick one before I jump out because you threw it in there. Right now, we are looking at regional locations. We opened up Dallas, we opened up Orlando for regional locations. As soon as those fill 75 entries, I tell people I get on a plane, I go plan it all out, I get the venue, I get you guys going, and we run this awesome, huge tournament. The Midwest one we set just to get one going, just to get one, it may be a little bit of a smaller regional because it's going to be less than 6 weeks into the season, but we are going to kick, that one off. The other two locations that will be opening up as soon as we fill the Dallas and the Florida, I'm opening up Philadelphia and LA, and those are the next two on our calendar and on our schedule. And then let's see. The players tell me where we go. So you guys are
Yeah.
going to tell me where the next regional is going to be after those ones are all filled. So I hope that we're doing one a month. Honestly, we're going to do it we're going to do regionals as often as you guys want to show up and play regionals. So. All right, DJ, I'm going to sign out first. See if it kicks. If it doesn't kick you, then hopefully you're good to go for the rest of the night.
10-4 sounds good. I appreciate you,
All right.
Jeremy. Thanks for jumping in.
Good luck, man. We'll talk next week.
Absolutely. Have a good night, man. All right, guys. Let's see. I might be able to just let's see. Now we gotta get set up real quick. We gotta move some things around. Let me just end this stream real quick. Y'all stay tuned. I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes. It won't be a long stream. We're probably only gonna be in here for maybe 30, maybe 45 minutes. We do still have to work tomorrow before we leave for our trip, but we do still want to play some Pop Darts for you guys and give y'all a little bit of entertainment so you can laugh at me and Brittany making fools of ourselves. But like I said, give us 5 minutes. We'll be right back with some Pop Darts for you.